Hopefully, if you could stay on for as long as you could, and then if you come off, that's okay.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So I'm gonna share a link. So let me go back. I'm gonna share a link. If you need to follow along, you could use that. But more or less, I'll call out everything that you need.
Yeah, I go follow along with you.
Okay. All right. So I just post the link in the chat.
Mm.
I think I'll post it on WhatsApp too. So
WhatsApp for web.
all right, good. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a simple website. I mean, this is nothing too extravagant or anything like that. All this website does is it allows you to customize the theme for the website. So you click one button and you can switch between a light theme and a dark theme.
All right.
Now that, I mean, Karen, you mightn't be able to really understand. I mean, you may understand what I'm talking about, but you wouldn't really be able to like see it happen unless you could see the difference between the light and the dark. Hopefully, you'll be able to make that distinction between when you see it into white and when you see it into black.
Right.
But
Right.
for is important for people who may have like low vision or people who may need certain high contrast type themes.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
could
Got you.
actually customize the look of it. So in this application, they just choose two simple high color contrast themes that you could work with. You could either do white and black or black and green.
Okay.
All right. So I went through this module. I right now have it showing up on the screen. I'm just gonna show you quickly like how this particular module works is they have a button and you can click on it. And when you click on it, it changes from dark to light and then from light back to dark if you click it again. Okay.
All right.
So,
And what question?
Yeah.
Yeah. What app is that, or what program is that, or so that is it accessible to us?
Okay. So this this app that I would have written here is written based upon a Microsoft Learn module, and you're going to actually write the app. So it will be
Okay,
accessible to you. The only thing that isn't accessible is the fact that it's purely visually based in that because you're utilizing CSS style sheets and you're trying to change the look of the site, there's not much that you can really do to make that part accessible. But the reason why it will be important for you to know it is because remember, you would only be designing applications to people who don't have vision, but you may be taking into consideration people who have vision and low vision, people who may be old, etc. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
you investigate the recording thing.
The recording, okay, to upload the recording, I know I'm supposed to upload those recordings for you, but I haven't been able to do anything.
Okay.
Right?
But yeah, I was saying it might be easier before we start that we could just quick record.
Oh, right. Yes, for you to be able to record for yourself. Okay. Yeah, I didn't go into Zoom to set go try and change any settings. But I have the recordings there. I'm going to upload them. I promise. Promise I will upload them for you.
No problem.
Okay.
All right. Let me transferring, surely.
Okay. So, all right. So this is the basic application. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to switch back over to the actual Microsoft Learn module and just quickly go over what it is that we will be doing to cover this. Now, we will be building this application in Visual Studio Code, right? We have that set up already. We're going to do one additional thing which is not listed here, which is we're going to create a Git repository and we're going to track the changes as we go along with it. in creating the application using Git, and you could push that to the repository. So there are a number of different points where we creating the application that you would see is they would tell you to go back and change certain parts of the code. Now, to make it easy on you, there's a copy button. So instead of having to write out all the code, you can just use the copy function, copy and paste into the different files. Okay, so the main objective of this particular session is for you to set up the structure of the app. And in this case, the app has 3 pages to it: the index.html, a main.css, and an app.js file. Right, and you will actually see that as you go into the module. And then
index.html.
index.html, main.css, and app.js.
Cool. All right.
Okay. All right. So the main.html is the file that's going to load.
Clear as crystal, man. Clear as crystal.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I missed anything, right? My computer
No,
being crazy right now.
No.
Not really. We just can explain what we're going to do today. So we're building a simple website. It's nothing too extravagant. All it does is it allows you to change the theme from a light theme to a dark theme. So you could have black and white contrast. When you click on a button, it changes it to a black and green high contrast application. And so the real use case for that is if somebody wants to customize the look of the site, perhaps because they need a higher contrast because they have maybe low vision, or they may not be able to distinguish between low contrast text. You could use that theme to make it a little bit easier for some people versus others. So it wouldn't I don't know if you have any vision, it may not necessarily apply to you in that respect, but at least you're able to design something that somebody who might be sighted could actually use to make their life a little bit easier when they're reading text on a screen. Okay, so for this application, we're going to be working with Visual Studio Code. The main structure for the app is it's going to have 3 files. One is going to be called index.html. There's going to be another file called main.css, and then there's app.js. The index.html file will have all the HTML code written in it, and that HTML file is going to be structure for the application. The main.css is going to take into consideration the style or the look and feel of the app, and the app.js file is going to have the functionality. So when the button is clicked, it's going to call the app.js function, and that's going to actually trigger the change in the style, which is going to be stored in the CSS file. Yeah, go ahead, Karen. Karen? Karen? You going to ask a question?
I think he just got disconnected, you know. Okay, well, he's back now.
Okay.
Internet port tonight, this evening, man. Well, pressure.
Okay, hopefully, or your connection a little bit poor. All right. Hopefully, if you hear me loud and clear, just let me know. If not,
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, good. So that is the structure we're working with. The very first thing we're gonna do is open up Visual Studio Code. We're gonna create we're gonna create a directory, and then we're gonna initialize it with Git and create the 3 files that we're gonna use for the application. Okay, so I want you to open Visual Studio Code now. Right.
Yeah, biting. So like you're not
Well, surely your internet, Karen, because I hear them fine. unless no one is hearing me.
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess it's just Kevin. Kevin, are you hearing me loud and clear?
Yeah. Everything well on my side.
I hear it
Alright.
coming clean too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, good. So what you could do, you could open Visual Studio Code, or we could do it another way. You could open the command prompt and create a folder called simple website. Okay.
I'm Visual Studio Code. You all hearing my jaws by chance or no?
Yes, we had any jaws, but that's okay.
Oh, okay. I thought it was too loud. I just want to kind of.
I hardly hear you. It's coming and cutting and coming in.
Cutting in, okay. All right, but do you have okay, so Karen,
You
the
better now.
main thing is
better now, Sean.
the main thing that you have to do now is to open Visual Studio Code.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to go to the terminal and we're going to actually create a folder. Okay. So remember, when you open Visual Studio Code, once it's open, you're going to press the Control plus the tilde option or the backtick to open the terminal.
Terminal 1 edit.
All right, good.
Nice. Tilde is the graphic and dice on the left hand side.
All right. So once you have that open, so let me just. Right.
I got disconnected again.
Okay, see, you have to, are you in the terminal now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we're gonna create a folder. You could choose whichever location you want to have it. I'm going to cd into my users folder.
Also, just create the folder the usual way. Going to like go into user document or wherever I want it and create the folder manually,
Yes.
or we doing it through Visual Studio Code.
You could go into you could do it manually, or you could go into Visual Studio Code. It's up to you to determine which one you want to do.
So what to go into file?
Right. Yeah. You can choose file. So if you want, you could go to file, create a folder, and make store your files inside there.
What to name it?
Right. You're gonna name it simple website.
Simple website.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I have in my folder here. No, I already have a folder called simple website. So I'm going to create my simple website too.
Zoom in row column 3. Zoom club in row column 4. Mail as 10. I will build a simple website using HTML. Yes, mail as 10. Exit close tabs. Dialog bar. Close 3 tabs. Close tabs button focus. Notepad VDA Visual Studio Code. Notepad VDA Visual Studio Code document. Application. Complementary network. Notepad VDA Visual Studio. File Explorer row column 2. File Explorer window. Items view list. Frequent folders grouping expanded. Desktop row column 1 of 14. L. Music row 2 column 1 5 of 14. Frequent folders 6.
Okay. L. So if you're doing it on the command line, you're gonna type something like make mkdir, and then you're gonna type simple dash website. Okay, mine is gonna be simple dash website too.
Will that put it in? Where would that put it if it is? I just type mk space dir.
Okay, so what you have to do before you put it into that folder, you have to type cd and go into the folder that you want to put it into. So maybe it might be, okay, so if you're in your users folder, maybe you might have exercises folder. So you would go into that exercises folder and then type mkdir and then simple website. So all your files will be in one folder.
I'm trying to figure this out.
Zoom meeting row account. Zoom cloud meeting row account. Local media Visual Studio Code row account. Local media Visual Studio Code. Local media Visual Studio Code. Local media document. Application. Complementary network. Local media Visual Studio Code document. Application. Complementary network. Document. Terminal edit.
Okay.
Karen got the selection point to meeting alert.
All right, Karen, reach back. Oh, Karen.
First window. Search box and blank.
And now
No leave. Alt plus Q button. Desktop list. Visual Studio Code 9 of 9. This PC 2 of 9. This PC window. Items view list. Folders grouping expanded. Desktop not selected. Row L. Devices and drives grouping expanded. Local disk G. Row and column 1 7. Local disk G. Items view list. Column windows not PC not selected. View. User 14 of 17. Items view list. Default not selected. 1 of 3. Items 2 of 3. Items view list. Not show not selected. 1 of 20. Active 2 of 20. Contacts 3 of 20. Desktop 4 of 20.
same.
Documents 5 of 20. Download 6 of 20. Favorites 7 of 20. Links 8 of 20.
Hello?
Music 9 of 20. New project 10.
Oi.
Okay.
Space not selected. Context menu.
So you got through with that? Just kind of give me a little bit of feedback. So
Window. Items view list. New project.
Okay, so I mean, I know how to create the folder manually, but I would like to know how to do it through Visual
Karen got the
Studio
selection
Code
point.
as well. Karen, go on again.
okay. So in terms
Default
of
plus
how
new
to do through Visual Studio
Local
Code,
media Visual Studio.
you're creating it on the
Karen got the
terminal.
selection point to meeting.
Okay.
Right. So I have the new terminal open, but it just saying edit.
Okay. And
No.
when you type something into it, what does it say?
C. EDS. PSC. User file media grader.
Users
Uh,
PSC Kyle Greater.
Okay. Okay. Good. So that is the main folder. That is the actual folder that you're in. So
I
you
just
could
type
actually.
CD.
So you could stay in that folder and type mkdir.
MK. Space.
Space
No.
between PIR.
No space. mkdir1
IPR. IPSC. User file media grader. KDR. IPSC. User file media
and
grader.
then
IPSC. User file
space,
media
and you're
grader.
gonna type simple dash website.
SIMPLE. TPLPSC. User dash. Double E. Double E. SIDG. TI.
And hit enter.
Directory. C. User file media. Directory. C. User file media. Slash my time when name slash 27 slash 2021 4:35 p.m. Simple website. PSC. User file media grader.
Oh, so you know where that ended up? Inside the NVDA directory. I think this thing remembered.
Okay, so okay, if you want to,
And that's manually cut it out.
right, so you were inside the NVD. If you want to go back, what you could let's say upper O1 directory, you could type cd space dot.
PSC. User file media grader. PSC. User file grader.
Oh, now I users Kyle Greater. Okay.
Right. So now you could create the mkdir
MKDIR space bird. SIMPDSE. What? Dash. Double E. Double E. ESPITD. T directory. C. User file dash right time when name slash 27 slash 2021 4:36 p.m. Simple website. PSC. User file grader.
From Visual Studio, you click in a new file.
Yes. So no. So in here you go to file, and okay, you can.
Zoom meeting default.
Is it okay? Yes, no. New folder, new window.
I'm saying create new folder, saying new file.
Okay, it only have. Okay, so you would have to create the folder manually because it doesn't have that option here. So you'd have to go to the location where the folder is. Let's say in my case, I have my files in Drive C, in users.
They clicking on open file.
Open, you would have to create the folder and then open folder. Okay, so I have my folder here as Microsoft Learn.
Or how
Okay.
you create folder.
All right, so you would come wherever you have the folder, you might already have a folder, okay? So you come here, as a right click, and you're gonna create new folder,
Audio now user alert. Local media Visual Studio Code.
okay?
Now, and Visual
Alternatively, you can do it on the command line. So for instance, how I have CD, let's say I wanted to go back up one directory, I would type cd ... and now I'm in the the SA Melville directory. I'm just gonna switch.
Switch your screen. I ain't seeing what you're doing there at all.
Oh yeah, okay, just now. All right. So let me show you what directory I'm in. Tell me when you're looking.
Okay, just now. Huh? Yeah.
Okay, so you see in this directory here? SAML in the users. So it's in the users folder. I have a subfolder called SAML.
SAL.
SAMEL. SAML.
SANEL. So that way it's saved.
Yeah, so this is the folder on my machine. You may have a different folder. Okay.
I put my folders in under one within one folder now for the whole program.
Okay, good. So if you want to go to that folder, let's see, you would go to File, Open Folder, and then you would choose that folder.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Let me see if I can locate it.
Okay. If it's on the desktop, you would click on desktop here, and then find the folder.
I don't think it's here. I see in Visual Studio. I see in VS Code users setup.
Okay. What's the name of the folder that you created?
I can't remember the name of that. Let's see this. Or will it be stored on the within the Visual Studio program?
Okay. When you open Visual Studio Code, you may see that it would have stored the location of your last project. So when you open Terminal, all your work will be shown down below. If you take Open Terminal, you can choose Terminal at the top, and then New Terminal.
Terminal. This now. Go on to New Terminal.
Yes.
Is there a code I could type in to make a new terminal open? Because I was in the NVDA thing.
Okay, so to open it back up, you can press the Control, Shift, and back tick or tilde.
Right, New Terminal here.
Okay, good. Now look to see where in the actual directory are you located. Are you in the drive C in some subfolder? Okay, so I'm gonna change directory. I'm gonna type in root. Now root, to get to the root, you're gonna type backslash. CD backslash takes you all the way to the root. That's one command, okay?
Terminal.
So that takes you all the way back to just C, colon, backslash, and the greater than tick.
So you're typing that in Terminal, right?
Yes. Okay, so I just showing you how to navigate the folders because you're accustomed to navigating it visually by clicking on, let's say, my computer and then going into a certain folder in Drive C and then going into subfolders. Or you might go into documents and you might go into certain subfolders. But all of these are located in Drive C and they only show up based upon how Windows is configured. So you go into the root folder right now, which is CD backslash, and that will take you all the way back to C colon backslash greater than.
CD backslash.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to try a command. Hopefully this one works. It's called pwd. Okay, so if you type pwd, it will show you the actual path that you're in, that you are located at.
So cd/pwd.
Yeah, so after you type cd/, just type pwd, and it would show you the path that you are currently at.
pwd, enter.
Yes.
You see,
So
the system cannot find the path specified.
can I find the path?
Yeah, it said the system cannot find the path specified.
Oh, it doesn't work for you, but it works for me. I'm not sure why it wouldn't work for you, but what you should be able to see the actual location. So even though it doesn't have the path specified like how I have it here, you should be able to see the same pathway listed here, down below.
But you're not able to see like a list of the files they created here within
If you want to see a list of the files in a specific folder, you could type ls.
ls.
Yeah. Hopefully that's not blocked too.
It says ls is not recognized as a terminal or internal or external command
Oh, you.
of a program or batch file.
Huh. So ls is not working for you either. And this is in Visual Studio Code.
Yeah, Visual Studio Code.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I don't know if I configured something that you didn't configure.
My thought is that the files would have been able to see it with one of the tabs on the screen itself.
Oh, okay. So you want to know how to get to that folder where all the files are. But we're gonna create those. We're gonna create that just now. But as long as you're able to create the actual folder that we're gonna put the actual code into as the main thing. So if you could do it using File for now, go to File, open folder, and just navigate to your desktop and select the folder that you're in. It should actually take you to that folder, and then that should actually show up. So if I go to File, open folder, I'm going to switch to another folder, something like
Folder.
Like GitHub Labs. I'm going to select GitHub Labs. So that changed it up for me. So now all the files that are in the GitHub Labs folder shows up on my screen.
Okay, when I click on open folder, saying .git.
.git?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means you would have created a Git repository in that folder.
Right. So open that out.
Okay, so right, .git.
Only folder. It's in another folder.
Okay, let me stop sharing my screen and you share yours, so I can see what you're talking about.
All right. That's nice. Seeing it?
Okay, not yet. I didn't see any. I didn't see you sharing anything. Okay, now starting.
All right.
Okay.
Eyes
All
up
right.
on it.
So now, okay. So you were in this GitHub. Okay, so I want you to go back, choose the Sean Melville writing computer.
Or go back to that from the
Yeah.
desktop.
Yeah. Right. Click on that, select the folder. No, just select the folder that you just click select folder down below. Just scroll down and you could click select folder there. It will choose the folder. If you want to add a folder, right now you could right click in the same space here. Just hover up, right click on the white space. Anywhere in the white space.
Oh, here.
Yeah, right click.
All right.
Okay. When you right click, click new folder.
Click folder.
Yeah, folder. And name it simple website. Okay.
All right.
And then you can click on that.
Click on it.
Yeah. And select folder.
So you want to save changes to the following 3 files.
Oh, okay. Yeah, click save. Save all. That would have been for work you were doing previously. Okay.
So what to do here now?
Right. Just give it a name. Say hello world.
Hello.
.py.
Dot
Py.
PUI.
Yeah, py.
PUI.
No, just py.
PUI.
No, P and Y.
Or PY. Okay.
And hit save. Okay. All right. So now it should open up in the folder for the simple website that you just set up. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. Good. Now what you're gonna do? I want you to go to terminal and open the terminal.
One more?
New terminal. Okay, good. Right. So now we're going to initialize the repository. So we're going to create a git space init command. So type git, git.
That's for me as well, right?
Yes. Once you have your folder open and you're in it in the simple website, just type git space.
How do I check to see if I'm in the correct place?
How do you check that? Type, hopefully it works for you. Type pwd.
Nah, I users NVDA. So cd space dot plus. Right. So now I'm in the main folder. I already created the simple website folder. How do I move from Kyle to Kyle / simple website?
Okay. So you can type cd space and simple website. No.
Oh, okay.
Simple, I think it's simple dash website. Right, and hit enter, and it should move you into that folder.
Yeah, I checked it with PWD.
Okay, good. Right? All right, so now we're gonna type git space init, INIT.
INIT. Terminal 2 is initialize empty repository and C /user // symbol website /document / initialize empty repository and C /user // symbol website /document /ESC user symbol website creator terminal 2 PowerShell.
Hello?
Yes.
Git space.
Git space init, INIT.
Right.
And hit enter.
Enter.
Okay, good. So we initialize an empty repository, which is fine. Okay. Now we're going to create a new file. So you could either choose to hit create file, new file, or you could choose to press Control N. It's up to you to determine which one you want to do.
Control N.
Yeah, Control N, and it would create a new file.
Or click file.
Or new file. You go file, new file.
File, new file, right.
Good. Now I want you to save, press Control S, or go to file and save.
Control S.
Yes.
Right.
Good. And then we're going to type index, INDEX. Common letters, common letters. .html. Okay, go ahead and save. Good. Press Control N again to create a new file. Good. Now when you press Control S,
right.
And you're going to type main, M-A-I-N, main.css.
Net.
Main, M-A-I-N, .css. Okay, good. Go ahead and save. Good. And you're going to do Control N one more time. And you're going to save, Control S. And we're going to type app.js, as in app.js.
app.js.
Yes, JS. Okay, and save. Okay, good. All right, so let me explain what it is that we have here. So now we created an index.html5 page, which is going to structure our HTML content. Okay, so when you create a website, web pages load HTML files, and that is the basic structure that is shared between one browser and the next. Now, the other file that is next to it, which is the main.css file, that is responsible for the visual look and feel of the site. So anything to do with font size and specific font families and colors or anything like that, how you style the actual document, that is written in the main.css file. Whereas the HTML.index.html5, HTML file is all about the content that is going to be on the site. So you would have things like bullet point lists. You may have form fields, input buttons. All those things are created in the index.html file. Okay. The last file, which is the app.js file, that is the actual programming that controls the functionality between what happens on the index.html file and the actual CSS file. So when you press the button in our example, it's going to send an input to the app.js file, which is then going to switch the actual style that is contained in the main.css file. So there are two styles that we have. We have a light theme and a dark theme. So when you press the button, it's going to change the theme from being a light theme to a dark theme. And then if you press it again, it's going to change it from being a dark theme to a light theme.
Okay, that controls the viewing, how you view it.
Yes, it controls it. Okay, so how we have listed it here is that we've structured the application so that it's not all written in one document. So it's what you call separation of concerns, where you separate the view, the model, or the design in this case, and the controller. So you have the view, you have the structure, and you have or in this case, the structure and the styles, and then you have the controller, which is the app.js file. Okay. Let me see if I can explain that again. The structure is the index.html file. That determines where everything is laid out. The main.css file has to do with the styling for the site, and the app.js file has to do with the controlling the functionality of the site using programming.
Okay, Sean, I don't go now, but it's 5 o'clock.
Oh gosh, all right, no problem.
Critical part right, huh?
Yeah. All right, so I'll be recording it. I'll try my best to see how I can do it in such a way that you'll be able to follow along. And if there's anything, I might actually review some of the same content next week. Okay. All right. So, go ahead and I'll stop you sharing your screen.
So to close off that and see everything will be saved, right? Just exit out.
Yeah, everything will be saved. Okay, so I see Jaden is here. I see Karen join us back again, which is cool. Okay, I see Jaden dropped out.
A lot of people have an internet issues. I thought it was me.
Wow. All right. Iran, how far each?
I created all the files that he was telling us to create, the app.js, index.html, and the main.css.
Okay, good. All right. So, So what I want you to do, you're gonna go ahead. I want you to type git add, git space add,
The last thing
and a dot.
the last thing I did was hit enter on the app.js. So I think it's somewhere on the screen still.
Okay. All right, let me see if I
Sean,
can.
Xing out this thing, right? To save what I'll do.
Okay, yeah. Save it. Just make sure and save it, and then you can close off this studio code, and you should be able to come back to it. Okay. All right. So let me just open my folder again. Open workspace. Open, not workspace, open folder. Okay. All right, so let me just catch up to you guys because I was more or less working with just doing giving the instructions. I'm going to create all these files. So let me create my index.html file.
Okay.
Okay, that's done. Main.css.
So the last thing I did was create app.js, save it. Well, Control N Control S app.js, enter. That's where I am at right now.
All right, good. Okay, so you would have had all your files created. All right, so what we're gonna do now?
I think.
Right. So you already
Karen, you're back.
initialized.
Yeah, I hope I'm back with stable connection. It's all right so far now.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
already good.
Yeah.
Karen, did you? I'm not sure if you was able to create the files that
No, I didn't do anything because I had to reset modem on the dramas.
Oh shoot.
So
Okay.
now I'm back on.
Okay, Sean, let me tell him what to do, and if I go wrong, you would correct me.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead.
You ready, Karen?
Yes, teacher.
I don't open Visual Studio Code.
All right. Yeah, it open.
Right? You're going into the terminal with Control tilde or Control graph.
Control graph. All right. Let me see.
Right?
I think.
Yeah.
Right. I think yes. No.
You're supposed to be
Wait.
in the edit field. I think I hear you blink.
I heard Windows PowerShell. Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Right? Type CD space. Actually, just type CD and enter. And tell me what it's in.
No problem.
No, you should type PWD. That will tell you where you are right now.
Users
Okay,
Karen and NVDA.
Right.
Okay.
Type CD space ... Right.
Right.
Good.
You're supposed to say users / Karen alone now.
Press enter. All right.
Yeah, after CD space ... Yeah, press enter.
Users Karen, correct?
Nice. Press MKDIR, no space.
Right,
MKDIR space simple dash website. Enter.
Right.
Wait, say.
All right.
User / Karen / simple website.
Right here, and some things before that, but then I
press
simple
PWD,
websites,
enter.
PWD, enter?
Yeah.
Guys, personal disabilities or what?
Yeah. And tell what it's in.
Parts user Karen PSC.
All right. Okay, so
I'm not sure what is the PSC. What is that about? P something C.
PSC.
Yeah.
I guess that depends on what folder you're in that you would have created the NVD in. But so you could list out all the files that in that folder. So type ls, and if it is here simple dash website, you know the actual folder was created.
Okay, ls.
Yeah.
Enter.
Enter.
Well, yes.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if you hear simple dash website.
Simple website.
Nah, here was starting out M and mobile and all these sort of things. Android and all madness.
Okay, so you in your you are in that your main users folder, I guess. Okay. Just on a limb, just type CD space simple dash website, and you should move into the correct folder.
D space SIMPLE dash PSC users current simple website.
All
yeah,
right,
man.
Right, in the folder. Good.
Cool.
Right.
Good job, Sean. Good job, Aaron. Good job, Aaron.
Inside there now, you're pressing git space GIT space INIT. Enter.
GIT space INIT.
Yeah.
Enter. Correct.
Right. So initialize the repository.
Empty git repository. Right. Good.
All right. So good. We have empty repository. Now I want you to create the files that you're going to add to this repository. So you're going to type Control N.
Oh, Control N. All right. Hi, Jaden. How are you going? Where are you going?
Okay. And then
Control
Control S.
Control N.
Control N.
Arrange.
Then Control S.
Yes, sir.
To save it.
Basically, you're creating
It's
a
a
new
warning.
file and then you're bringing up the save dialog.
No, but it's a warning. Cannot something up the enter manually.
Okay. Let me stop sharing my screen and you share your screen.
I'll bring. You stop, right?
Yeah, I stopped. Go ahead.
All right.
Control window. The video thumbnails are minimized to optimize full screen.
I share the sound for the visually impaired members so they could hear what going on as well.
You are viewing a screen alert.
All right.
Okay, taking a little while to load.
Right, Jaden having some internet challenges as well because he now come back, he left.
All right, okay, I see you. All right, so I see you on the untitled -1. So I wanted to press Control S now.
Okay. Right.
Good. Now type index.html. Common, all common letters.
Yeah.
Index. H. T.
Yeah.
F. L.
Enter, right?
All right, yeah, go ahead, hit enter.
Untitled.
I would assume I'm doing it with the others, right?
Okay, good.
Same thing, right?
Same thing, you're gonna press Control N.
Leave this open on the editor of index.html, right?
Yeah, just leave that open. Just press Control N, it would create a new file.
Cool, and then type what is something .css mass
main.css.
Right? Oh shucks, I don't. Oh god.
Right, you have to press Control S now.
Yeah, I had to press Control S, and I remember that.
Okay.
Save as dialog. M-A-I-N.
And then do the same thing. Control N.
Untitled 1 NVDA Visual Studio. Main CSS.
Type app.js, right?
Untitled 1
Correct, yes.
APP or AP? I heard you saying about AP.
APP.
Oh.
Save as dialog. APP. App.js.
Right.
Right, and go ahead and save.
Untitled 1 NVDA Visual
Yeah.
Studio.
Save it already and put app.
Yeah, the names in this case are important because when we copy the code from the Microsoft Learn module, they would reference the name specifically. So it would be looking for app.js and main.css. Okay. All right, good.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're gonna do now? I want you to go back to the terminal. Say my head, press Control tilde again to get the focus there.
Control tilde or Control graph?
Yeah, Control graph is the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. No, but remember tilde to get tilde and press Shift graph, you know. So that I want to know now. Yeah. All right. Right.
All right. Once your focus is
here, right?
there. Right. I see it there now. Good. All right. So I want you to type git space add.
That's not trying to find GIT space ADD, right?
Space dot.
Dot.
Okay. And the dot is all. Okay, and hit enter.
The dot one dot, right?
Yeah, just one dot. So
git space add space dot.
Yeah, so git space add dot. Okay, if it doesn't go through, I think you have a actually backspace off everything there because I think you're gonna end up with an error, and then type git again. So just backspace everything. Karen?
I typed in git space add space dot and it gave me an error. It says you don't have something.
You don't have something? What is this one?
Yeah. Hello?
Yes.
Your internet connection is unstable alert.
Okay. Go ahead and type over git space add space and a dot.
Space dot, right?
Yeah.
User care and simple website to add.
Right.
And hit enter.
Hit enter. PSC
user
user
care and
current simple website.
Right. So it should say 3 files added or something like that.
No, I ain't gonna matter.
I'm not seeing anything on your screen though. That's anything. Let me stop sharing your screen.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
I think your internet a bit too slow to do the share screen.
Let's share back the screen, right? Right, tell me if you've seen it there.
It's still very broken up, very fuzzy.
Oh,
Yes, I can't see anything. Okay, but if it didn't get any error, you should have all the files added to.
No, I didn't get any error.
Okay, didn't get any error. All right, so you should have the 3 files added.
Is that when you went to check it?
To check
or just go to the
it.
directory and see if it's inside.
No, so the way in which this works is you would do git add dot git commit -m, and you will put a message and you will put initial commit, and then you could do git push. Now we wouldn't do any git push because we're not pushing it to a specific repository.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, well let me just try it on my end, make sure that I didn't, and then giving you the wrong instruction.
All right. Let me stop sharing. Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm back on my screen. So I'm gonna type git add dot, and right, good. So everything worked for me. My changes have been saved.
How do I move from terminal 1 to terminal 2? Sorry, from terminal 2 to terminal 1.
Okay, you added an extra terminal. You end up splitting the terminal. Let me just see.
I don't know what I did, but I am on terminal 2 right now.
Okay, yeah, I understand. I understand what you did. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it because I'm not sure. Okay.
And I'm not sure either. I'm not sure of the Visual Studio Code's commands.
Yeah, I would most likely I would have to turn on the screen reader and then guide you through that. Let me see. Now there's the option to close it off. Press the X and then reopen the terminal, and you'll have one terminal.
I wouldn't have to start over though.
No, you wouldn't be starting over anything because the commands themselves are not stored like saved there. Once you initialize the command itself was actually activated. So you don't have to type the command over. Okay. All right. So assuming here, hopefully that everybody is at the same point. where we have the index.html, the main.css, and the app.js file. I'm going to, what I want you to do is go to the Microsoft Learn module. I'm going to post the link, because this is where you're going to get the code that you need. Now, I will call it out as well. So if you need to type it, cool. But it might be much faster for you to just copy and paste the code into the relevant folders, files.
Right, so right now I am on app.js in thingy. I open back Visual Studio Code.
Okay,
So,
all right.
So control tilde to go back into
the terminal.
Right. Right, it says terminal 1 now.
Okay, good. All right, it doesn't matter whether you use terminal 1 or terminal 2 if you had it, it would execute the same command.
So git add dot.
Git add dot. Now, if you already added and it recorded it, then it would probably not update it because you didn't make any changes to the file.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now we could do a git commit. After that, git commit -m. -m.
Any space?
Yeah, space. So git space commit space -m, and you're just gonna put initial commit and quotation marks.
Any space after the M and any space between M and quotation?
Yes, a space between M and the open quotation marks, initial commit.
Space between initial and commit?
No, that doesn't matter. You can put a space there. Anything that is between the quotation marks could have spaces. It's like just writing a comment that you put between the quotation marks. Okay.
All it said was terminal git, then terminal PowerShell.
Terminal git and terminal. Okay, let me tell you what I have in mind. When I type that, it was supposed to have gotten 3 files change, 0 insertions, 0 deletions. And then with a caller, create mode, app.js, create mode, index.html, and create mode main.css. All right. So let me I will call over the command itself. So git, G-I-T.
Yeah.
Space commit, C-O-M-M-I-T.
Yeah.
Space -m.
Yeah.
Space, open quotation marks.
Yeah.
Initial commit. Close quotation marks. Okay, what happened?
It's not saying anything.
Didn't say anything.
So I don't know if it happened or not.
Okay. But it didn't say error or nothing like that. I suspect it worked, but it just didn't give you the feedback.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how I ask it. So you don't have a way to check to see if the files are actually, I don't know.
Committed. Okay, I think there's one other command, if I can remember it carefully, is git status. I think it's git status. No, it just says git status is on master branch, nothing to commit. Working tree clean. Okay, so if we had done git status just before, it would have told us that we had some files to commit. Git status is one. Git. There's another git command that you could probably use. Git. And my memory is failing me right now. Okay, I just did a quick Google search so I could get back a quick cheat sheet on how to
Let
do
me
that.
share my screen real quick so you can at least take a look now, because I don't know, you know.
Okay.
Because it probably went through and it didn't say it.
Okay, so let me stop my screen. All right, go ahead and share yours. Okay, now there's a pop-up dialog that says, are you using a screen reader to operate VS Code? Word wrap is disabled when using a screen reader. So you have to close that off and in order for me to see.
Wow.
Ah, right. So the answer to the question that he was just asking me is you have to use a command called git log. Git log. Git space log.
Yeah, that's what I just typed.
Right. Okay, good. So it shows me commit. So your commit was successful.
Yeah, and it still didn't even say that. I don't know. So why not? Let me just let me restart NVIDIA and see if that's the issue.
Okay. Okay, but they're not giving it a response. Ah, all right. You know, I think I might be able to actually talk to the folks at Microsoft and show them some of the accessibility challenges that we have. Because I actually spoke with, this week I spoke with Simona Cotton. She's one of those Microsoft advocates who does like conferences and presentations, and she shared a lot with me in terms of how we could actually use the what do you call it, Azure CLI or Azure command line to work with the Azure portal. And I was having that conversation with her because I was telling her that I was working with you guys and that we need a way to use the technologies. And some of the challenges with how Visual Studio Code is made up is that if I were to teach you how to use the interface, you'll be tabbing a lot, and a lot of the features aren't fully accessible. So I could bring that up as a conversation with her and see if maybe they could do something about it.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I think we should push ahead if everything in order. It's just a matter for me to know the right commands to.
Yeah. It's just that you're not getting any feedback. That's the problem.
Yeah, not getting any feedback.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it's highlighting to see that screen reader optimized, but then it has this error. I don't know if it is you could actually click yes because and see if that makes a difference.
Is there a yes button somewhere? Because I don't see it.
Okay. Let me see if I could control your computer. I'm gonna request control. You just give me access and I will click on it for you.
Okay.
Just press enter or something.
Yeah, so I just clicked on it. So you shouldn't have that problem anymore. All right, I'm gonna type git.
Yeah, it started reading it now.
Okay. All right, so I guess that was the problem.
What else can I type to get some feedback just to check?
Okay. Besides git space log, you could do git status, git space status.
Nah, nothing.
That's so strange, man.
It reads sometimes.
I know you all hear me, right?
Yes, Ken.
Yeah, I know someone who is a blind person who uses Visual Studio Code. He's from Brazil. So I was no, let me know, Sean, if this well I just offering this up now. I will ask him if he can come on. I'll ask him if he can come on next week. And he could probably show us a tip or two. What you all say?
Yeah, I'm all for that if it is that he has the experience.
He's a Visual Studio Code man and a NVIDIA man, I would assume, yeah.
Right. And then that's cool. I mean, yeah, you know, if you could get somebody else to come on board and share, that's perfect.
Well, I'll send a message out to him and ask him.
Okay. All right, cool.
I'm stepping away for like 2 minutes, guys, maybe 1.
All right, sure, no problem.
45 seconds?
I just gonna feel like I thought outside.
Well, right about 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, Sean, this evening my internet was real. I'm not sure what causing it because my internet up to 4 full bars. I'm not sure what's going on. So for the majority of the session, it actually now started to work properly because I was hearing you all the time, right? But I was hearing you coming in and going out, fluctuating all the time.
Oh.
So I couldn't really understand what you were saying. So I said, it makes sense stress now to go and find and figure out, ask you back. I'll get it recording. Somebody messenger ringing. No, I'll be around. Sean, you there?
Yeah, I'm saying.
I am back. It's reading stuff now though. Like how come when you type it it's reading, but when I type it it's not reading?
Honestly, I don't know. I have no clue. It works when I type in the main area. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna close off your terminal. Right, it works now. Okay, so let's see. Git log. Okay.
Yeah, just read out everything there.
Right. Okay. It probably just had an error with the terminal. So when I closed it off and opened it back up, it was reading again.
Okay.
All right, cool. Now I noticed something here that you did everything in the NVDA folder. You're supposed to go back up out of that folder and create a one for itself. I read, or you ended up opening the folder. Sorry, I think you're in the wrong. Yeah, you did everything inside of the NVDA folder.
Wait.
All right, let me see if I can correct that for you.
I think that's because when I opened back the terminal, it was still in NVDA.
Okay. Oh, we already have one. Okay. All right. So now that is there. Good. So CD. Okay. All right. So I'll put everything in the folder for you now. So it's just I'm gonna run the git add command space dot good git commit -m space
I don't hear anything at all though.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And I hear an NVIDIA at all, not even when you're typing.
Yeah, so everything just, it's only showing up visually. Okay, I'm not sure. All right, well, let me stop controlling and see if you could actually if you're going to get anything. Okay, let's see.
Nada.
Nada?
So maybe restart NVIDIA then.
I'm gonna type git. Okay, all right.
Yeah, back on now.
All right. Okay, so right now everything just worked out there. So you have, when you make a commit, you could use git log and you will be able to track all the past commits. Okay, good. Now, the next thing that you're gonna do is we're gonna go to the site and we're gonna copy the code. Okay, so we're gonna go to, I'm gonna open up here Google Chrome for you. And we're gonna go to Google, Microsoft Learn. Okay, all right, I'll have to type it in. All right, so docs. Okay, so this is the module that we're doing. So right now, if you go to the introduction and you can actually play it. Let me see. Go ahead. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do here is there's a number of samples of code that we can actually copy. So we're going to go to, I'm going to continue on to the next page, which is set up the structure of your app. I'm going to click continue. And on that page, which is unit 2 of 7.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay, good. So the last thing that they want us to do here is to install some extensions. So we're going to pull an extension from the marketplace. We're going to go to the extensions on the main menu, and we're going to search for open in browser. All right, so go ahead and type open in. Right. Then tab once, and then use the drop down arrows to select open in browser. Right, hit enter. And go ahead and install the extension. Okay, shift tab, press shift tab because you need to go back. Right, insert, yeah, yeah, that's it. All right, hit enter. Okay, good. So that now allows us to be able to open the files, the index.html files, in the browser automatically. Now the command for doing that is to press Alt plus B, but it must be on the file itself. So we're gonna go back to the file repository. So you're gonna have to Shift Tab. Yeah, shift or tab on or maybe you might have a tab all the way out of that that window. Press tab, let me see.
What am I looking for?
You want to get back to the main menu. So there's the menu where there's extensions, source control, debugging. Yeah. So just tab until you can get out of there. I don't know a shortcut for coming out of the extensions installation section. So you might just have a tab. Or in fact, you might be able to press try Control W. Okay, good. Now tab. All right, press Control M. Press Control M. And then tab. So, I keep tabbing. Yeah. So right now you're by the terminal window. Tab, tab, tab. Tab again. Okay, I can't see where you are.
I can't even hear where I am.
Okay. Just now. Tab, we're trying to get to the actual file repository. Tab.
File repository.
Yeah. So keep tabbing.
Yes, you can find it later. That's one up. That's one up.
All right. All right. And I'm selecting it here. And I open the index.html page. Okay. All right, and on this page, what I wanted to do is just press Alt plus B. Aaron, that's I press Alt plus B for you.
Press what?
All right, I just pressed it, but I'm gonna close it off. You're gonna press Alt plus B. Right. Okay, good. So when you press Alt plus B, what it does is it opens the actual browser. So any code that you write, when you press Alt plus B, will show up in the browser. Yes, you can test it.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, good. All right, so let me call out the code that you need to write. So you could exit off now. You can close that. Press. Right. All right. So the first thing that when you're writing an HTML file is you start off with something called a doc type tag. So you're gonna type open angle brackets.
Whoa, open angle bracket. Let's see which one is that.
Yeah, that's the one with the comma.
Oh.
Right. And you're gonna type in caps doc type DOC TYPE. Right. And there's nothing, there's an exclamation mark. Right. Right. Then in common letters, now you're gonna type HTML. All right, space. Right. And you're gonna type LANG as in lang equals. We put the equal sign. Right. Open quotation marks. EN. Right. Just use the arrow key to move to the right. One space to the right using the arrow key, the right arrow key. Right, and then close angle bracket. Good. All right. Hit enter. Okay, good. Duck type each, just one. One little error I made. All right. Doc type E. Okay, so the next line is going to be HTML. And then lang. Okay, good. All right, so let me just correct that. So the first line is going to be angle bracket, exclamation mark, doc type, DOCTYPE, HTML, close angle bracket. The second line is going to be open angle bracket, HTML, lang equals EN, close bracket. And what that says is the first one is the declaration tag for HTML. The second line says this HTML file is written in English. So if it was written in Spanish, it would be ES. Lang, as in language, equals ES, which is Spanish. Okay. All right. The next tag that I will write here is called head. Then you're gonna write a close head tag, close angle bracket, / head. So these tags come in pairs, okay? So there's the open HTML tag, and then there will be a close HTML tag. There's an open head tag, and then there's a close head tag. The open head tag is just going to be open angle bracket, the word head, and then the close angle bracket. Similarly, for the close head, it's going to be open angle bracket, a / and then the word head, and then a close angle bracket. I'm going to type it out for you, and then you could go it over with the screen reader. Okay. All right. In the head, it's going to have a title. We're going to call it simple website. All right. So, okay. So at the top of your website, whenever you go to visit a website, it's going to have a title on the page. We're going to create that title. There's a tag called title, and it starts with open angle bracket, TITLE, close angle bracket. Then you type the words that you want in between there. In this case, it's called, we're going to name our website Simple Website. And then you're going to have a close title tag, which is open angle bracket, / title, close angle bracket. All right. So, Aaron, go ahead and just take your time and go over what I just typed there. It's basically 8 lines of code. So, okay, go it over and then we will move on. Hey, Karen, I don't know if you're getting through.
I didn't know anything. I just listened to you all because I stuck at the first point where my internet was giving me trouble.
Oh,
I didn't want to stop here now because you was helping Aaron. So.
Okay, no problem. Well, you would have created the index.html files. So
Yeah. Created 3 files.
Right. All we're doing right now is just adding content to the index.html file.
Well, I followed you and I listened to you very well.
Okay, good. So,
yeah, but you think I would rather leave by 6 o'clock and it's on 2 minutes to 6? Right?
Oh, okay. Well, we will continue next week.
I will listen to the recording as well.
I know we still have a lot to do on this, so we could push this for again to do more next week, and I would send. Well, you already have the actual link to the exercise.
I'm gonna read it.
You can try it during the week.
Yeah, man. And also I will contact the guy and see if he's available for next week, right?
Sure.
Yeah, man. He could shed some light on the accessibility more, or commands using with NVIDIA and so on. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because I don't know why it is that the NVDA is shutting off with Iran. Sometimes it works, sometimes it stops.
Aaron, you update your NVIDIA, right? Aaron?
I'm not sure if Aaron must step away or something.
Okay. What I noticed, Sean, this last update here that came last week, 20.4 for NVIDIA, they made some nice enrolls in VS Code. So the support for VS Code get better.
Better. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, you know. And NVIDIA really doing. I mean, for Sean Fast software that is free. For persons who build and maintain the software, they do it voluntarily. You know what I mean? It's good. It's good.
Yeah, and that's what we need. We need more people who could volunteer and create these things so that the community could benefit.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, Sean, we'll pick up next week.
All right, cool. Well,
Thanks,
let me
man.
know what's going on so I can know how to plan.
Yeah. No problem. Now let you know. Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Cool.
Take care.
Yeah, man. No problems. Okay. Iran? Okay.
Yo!
Yo, Aaron?
Give me 1 sec, please.
Yeah, no problems. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right, so I'm back.
All right, so what you can do is just go over the few lines of code that I just wrote there, and at least you would have an understanding of how it's structured.
Okay, so this is like a language, English something.
Yes, yeah. So the lang equal en is for English. If it was Spanish, you would say lang equal es. Now, this is important for the screen reader actually. So when your screen reader goes on a web page, if the lang is set to Spanish, but the actual words are written in English, it wouldn't pronounce it correctly.
Oh, it will pronounce it like a Spanish person.
Yes.
Speaking English.
Trust me, it wouldn't even sound like that. It would sound like like nonsense. Yeah, so that's the first layer of accessibility is just setting that, right? Just lang equal English or lang equal Spanish, and at least now the screen reader knows what language is speaking. And you could have English and Spanish mixed together, but the main one, whatever main language it is that it was written in, would go to the top, and then you would specify the actual at certain points within the text. If it was like a quote or something in Spanish, you would have a language translation. Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to go through all of these different structures and code for the HTML. Now the HTML is just like a markup language. It just tells you how to lay out the page.
Okay.
Right. So like how you have the markdown language that we did previously, it's just a way in which you would structure the content, but it doesn't do anything for like styling of the website.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the basic structure that we have here for almost all websites. So you're gonna have a doc type tag at the top, the HTML with the language, followed by the head, which consists of like a title, and the title itself is what shows up at the top of the page. So when you switch between tabs,
So I press Alt B.
What is?
When I press Alt B.
Okay, when you press Alt, yeah, so when you press Alt B, so let's make sure you save this. If you press Alt B now, it will launch the website and it will launch a browser. And you should have a tab open up that says simple website. So you can try that now if you want. Yeah, that's it. That's all the lines of code that we did. So the number 4, line number 4 is the one that has the title and the simple website.
Yeah, I see it here.
Okay, good. All right, so what you could do there is you could just press Alt B.
So Control S will still get the save and everything, right?
Oh yeah, Control S will allow you to save. Now, if you want to commit the changes to, let's say you want to commit the changes to your repository, you would have to do a git add the name of the file, git commit, and then git, well, if you want to push it to git repository, you could do git push. But for now, it's just git add, git commit. All right, to save the file, you press Control S, and now when you load it up, so now you have a empty file, doesn't have anything in this on this website right now, but you know that the title of the page is simple website.
Yeah, it said it.
Right. Good.
Interesting. Okay. All right. More website coming through.
So we're getting somewhere. So next week.
So I could just change whatever. I could change the simple website to wherever I want my website title to be.
Correct. Yes, you can do that.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean there are a number of other tags which we will do during the next coming sessions. I know that I need to go and explain each one of these, but more or less you get the concept of how it starts off. Now in the head, all the information about the website is put up there, including things called metadata. The content for the site, which is what shows up on the page itself, all that information goes in the body tag. So I'm just going to create one other, I'm going to type a few more lines of code just to illustrate that. So in the body, we're going to create a H1 tag, a header one, and we're just going to call this title, right? And then close header one, so you close angle brackets again, forward slash, and then H1. Good. So now, if you save this, we press Control S to save. Good. And you launch it again. If you say Alt B.
Ah.
Right. So it has header one title. So if you press header, it would have title there. Now, if you were to do a subtitle, which we could do, then you could actually search by titles. So we will do more of that next week, going into the different tags and why you would want to create certain tags.
So is there like a place? So go that same Microsoft Learn Git website site that you went on a little while ago.
Yeah.
You can go through that and find all of these things.
Okay, yes. So all the code that is written on this page, you will get access to that on the Microsoft Learn module. Now, if you want a more generic understanding of HTML code, then you could try out a website called W3 Schools. they have much more in-depth information. So they will teach you everything from the document type declaration tag to the HTML tag to the header, all the different tags that are available. You will be able to know specifically what tag is used for what. But the Learn module will just give you a sample code, and you now will have to go through that code and then dissect it and understand what each tag does. And that's what I'm explaining now.
Right. I think for me, this way will be better.
Okay.
So
Yes.
every time I put in something, I press Alt B and see what it does.
Right.
So how
Okay.
much things are missed, Sean?
Okay, so let me see what you missed. Actually, you had already created the three files. So right now, we just added some code to the HTML file. So we have at the top a doc type declaration tag with the open angle bracket, exclamation mark, DOCTYPE in capital letters, followed by the HTML in common letters and a close angle bracket. That must go at the top of every single HTML file. Okay. The next line, which is number 2, has an open angle bracket followed by HTML in common letters, followed by LANG, lang equals EN, close angle bracket. So that is English. Okay. If it was Spanish, you would say ES. Or any other language, I think like German, I can't remember, I think I don't remember the actual code. But each language would have a 2-letter code associated with it. What that does, so it's important that you put the actual language there because it tells the screen reader what language this particular web page was written in. So if you put ES, but the actual content on the site is in English, what the screen reader is going to do is it's going to pronounce everything as if it was reading content that was written in Spanish when it's actually English. And it sounds terrible and you wouldn't be able to understand it. And vice versa. Okay, so the person who's a good Spanish speaker wouldn't understand Spanish words written being read in an English format.
Okay.
Okay. All right. The next line after that is the head, and the websites are always broken up into header sections and body sections. The header section consists of all the information that goes for like the title of the page, any kind of metadata that the search engines would look for, that goes into the head. So for example, the title, which is within the head tag, that has the word simple website, and that now becomes the title of the page that shows up in the tab at the top. So if you press Alt B, I'm just going to press Alt B here, you will see that we have the title simple website up here. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's exactly where all websites have to put their code in order for it to show up in the browser at the top tab.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Now, the body of the code, which is what is written here, all the information that goes on the site itself that we normally read, that goes in between the body. So I wrote an H1 tag and I named it title. So we're just going to call it main title instead. Okay, so we're going to update it. We're going to call it main title. And we're going to add one other tag to it. And we're going to call it a H2 tag. Right? And I'm going to call it subtitle. Close angle brackets, close / H2 Right, good. Now I'm going to save it, Control S, and then Alt B to launch the browser again. And now you see main title and then subtitle.
Also, you went through all that already.
Well, I'm now going through some stuff here to show you how to create the structure of the web page. So as of right now, there's no styling or anything like that to make the web page look good. Everything
so
just gonna
what
go.
happening on the screen is just black writing on like a blue background, or like when I press Alt B, I mean.
Okay, so it's just black writing on a white background, and
Okay.
everything just goes sequentially from top to bottom.
Okay.
Okay, so if I write any paragraph, I could probably do one more example. After my H2 tag, I'm going to open a paragraph. I'm going to type open angle brackets, P, close brackets, and I'm just going to say this is a paragraph. Oops, paragraph. Okay, so this is a paragraph, full stop, close angle brackets, / letter P, close angle brackets. Okay. All right. I'm going to press Control S to save it, Alt B to launch it, and then you have a paragraph.
Wow.
Okay. So, and then if you're using your screen reader, you should be able to press H.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna press Shift. H, subtitle.
Yeah.
Main title.
Website.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So now you see how simple it is to just add content. So this is what you call a static web page. Nothing here could store information beyond what you type in the HTML file. But you know, when it comes to building websites, we typically have more complex functionality built into them. But we're gonna get to that point. For now, we just dealing with static files that you create everything and you embed it into the code, into the HTML document. And we're gonna use the CSS to make it look nice. And we're gonna use the JavaScript to add functionality to it. So if you add a button, if you just add a button but you don't add any functionality, the button does nothing.
Nothing.
Click on it, nothing happens. But when you add the functionality, like for instance, if you want to have a submit button, you create the button and then you create something called an on-click event. And on that on-click event, when it senses that the person clicked using the mouse or hit enter using the keyboard, it's going to send a notification to the JavaScript file to say do something. That do something might be take all the information on the user input. Let's say it was a login form. Take the person's username and the person's password, and then compare that with the information in the database. And if the two are correct, then you can log them in. If not, then you redirect the person back to the initial login screen so they could fill in the information correctly.
Okay, so that will work like in a payment situation, in any payment tab.
Yeah, so it can work for payment too. So you just see, you said add to cart. You could do something like that. So you have the items that you want to add to cart. You press the button. The button then says to the database, hey, this person is interested in this item. Log that in your database. And then when you're ready to check out, you would press another button that says, hey, you know, this person really wants to buy this thing now. Let's add that and bill them for it. So you would then go ahead to ask them for things like their user, their name and their address and their bank account or ID card, Visa card number, etc. They fill out all that information and then they hit submit. And then it does a transaction. So that, all of that is built upon this basic principle here, which is you have a static page, but then you add all these additional functionalities to it using programming and CSS to make it look nice.
But could you also think this is how you add those information? Could you also remove these same items using code?
Oh yes, you can remove some of these items using code. So let's say I wanted to hide the paragraph. I could maybe have a button that says, okay, if you unclick, remove the paragraph element. So it could actually make this as a paragraph disappear.
Okay. So that's how we do it. You hide it instead of removing it.
Yes, it would hide it.
Oh.
In a sense, it would remove it from the actual document that is in the browser, but the actual text would be still there in the original file.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then what will happen is when you reload the website, it's going to go back to being normal. But if it was stored in a database and you remove the information from the database, then it ceases to exist.
Right.
Okay. Now we're going to do databases and stuff later on because you could only achieve so much functionality without it.
So it showed how to do this in just now.
Yeah, so we're gonna continue this next week because I know I wanted to try and see how far we could reach with it, but I know that everybody had little challenges. So we're gonna continue this next week where all the information that we had to type into this index.html file that is available here. So sorry.
Once we can get everybody up to this point, so that next week, Saturday, we start.
A big port, how you're doing all those things. They will include that in the
Right. Okay. So pulling up the actual Microsoft Learn module. So this is the exercise that we're actually doing right now. Okay. So you set up a structure for your web app. You can click on this. We did that already.
Okay, just following that.
Yes. Right. So this is the app.js, the index.html, the main.css that was created. The only thing you probably didn't do was install the extension. So you could go to extensions marketplace and type open in. And then when you see this open in browser, you install it. Just click on it and click install.
Lost Sean, the link how you reach there to get to
okay, this link. So I posted this link in the WhatsApp group, so you could get a copy of it there, as well as I posted it in Zoom. I could post it again for you.
Yeah, post it to me. Okay. So all that is explained just now is it within this link you're going to send me here. So just
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so we just followed along. I went ahead and I did everything. So it's just for you guys to try it out.
I'll try to make a landing page for my page, for my website.
Right. So that we can. Oh boy.
They get most of that information from Microsoft.
Yes, yes. Most of it is there. Okay, so I'll post in the link for you. I just posted it here in chat, and I'm gonna. Well, you should have it in the coding class, but I'm gonna post it again. Okay, so the main information that we're gonna be typing into that index.html file is on page 3 of the exercise.
Okay, so it's on page 3. So when you
Yes.
open up this link, you go on to page 3.
Yes. Okay, so I'm just gonna push ahead here so you can see what I'm talking about. Right. So on page 3, they would show you some HTML code. So this is a good example here. You can click on copy and you can just paste it in. So this one, it has doc type lang equal en head. They have something called a meta characters, a meta charset. You don't need to worry about that for now, but all it says is that this is how it's going to encode the characters that your keyboard is typing. So every single letter on your keyboard has a very unique set of numbers that represents the character. So the number 1, the number 2, number 3, etc. has like a unique hexadecimal number that's attached to it. So that encoding of the unique characters is called the UTF-8 character set. Yeah.
That is for colors as well?
If that is for?
Colors as well.
Colors, yes. So colors would have their own unique character set as well. So you'll probably be more familiar with that. So like you'd have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 for black and F, 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 F for white.
Right, yes.
Okay. All right. So, all right. So what we're doing right now, you could go ahead, go through page 3. It will take you through the HTML basics. This particular header, edit the body. That is the one we're gonna copy and replace the code with. So if you press copy, and I come here now, I'm gonna minimize it. Go back to Visual Studio Code, and I'm just gonna press Control A and replace, and Control P to paste it. I'll press Control S to save, and then Alt B to launch it again. All right, and now you'll see, yeah, simple website. It has task list, current tasks, and has add visual styles, add light and dark themes, enable switching the theme. So it basically just created a header, a paragraph, and a couple bullet points added to our list. So it's pretty simple. Yeah, so you can try it out for yourself. Like add and remove whatever you need, and then by next week
I
we
make like
continue
20 websites before I will say pretty simple.
No worries. This is actually where I started when I was like about 15 years just learning HTML code, and a lot has changed in terms of HTML. So when I was doing it, it was called XHTML, and they had like a different set of tags that you could use, and that doc type declaration didn't exist.
So this is adding content to a website.
Yes, so every website that you go on would have usually like a header. It would have, images, maybe short descriptions. It could even have bullet points. It could have tables. Any content that you see on the site was added because you have HTML.
Okay.
Right.
HTML, what is HTML? What?
Okay, HTML, it stands for Hypertext Markup Language. And what it does is a way in which you could structure a document from top to bottom using certain tags. So a tag, for example, we have task list. That's an H1 tag. This would show up the biggest. Okay, so task list H1. Right. This one here, current task, this is a P tag or paragraph tag. Okay, so paragraph tag, header 1 tag. This here, which is UL, this is an unordered list. UL stands for unordered. And each item in the list goes between an LI tag. So if you want to add one more item to the list, right now we have 3 items, okay? So come back here, add visual styles, add light and dark themes, enable switching theme. Let's say I add one more tag, one more line. So I want to add one more item. It means that, let's say I write enable switching theme, let's say help customize okay, let's just put customize your theme. Oh, better yet, choose your preference. Alright, so I have to put a close LI, and that's it. So I add one more LI tag with a description between it, and then a closing LI tag, which is angle bracket / LI close angle brackets. I'm going to press Control S to save it, and then Alt B to launch it. And now you have an extra bullet point. Okay. So this is just for lists, but you could easily have tables with data. You could put images, you could put videos. So everything has a tag specific to that. So the images will be img src equal the pathway to the image. Yeah, so I wouldn't go into that yet because I know images could probably take a little bit to remember it. But for now, just pay attention to the actual tags that we've used so far.
Website, let's say you see a particular bit of text. Could you copy a link onto that and use the same thing?
Oh, yes. So let me give you an example of a link. Okay, so let's add a link. Okay, so I'm going to put angle brackets A, href equals And let's just use something like, let's use Facebook. Okay, so https://www.facebook.com. Okay, and then close href. We're gonna type in Facebook, and then close angle, open angle brackets, forward slash a, close angle brackets. Okay.
Yeah.
Facebook. Right. So what that's going to create is a link that has the word Facebook, and when you click on the link, it will take you to the Facebook website. Okay. Now, if I had changed this what's written here to something else like Google, even though I have Facebook here, it would take me to Google. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just press Control S to save it. Alt B to launch it, and now you have Facebook. And if I click on the link, it takes me to Facebook.
Oh wow!
Okay.
I gonna hurry up on this week with this thing.
Yeah. So you could already, from just doing a few basic things here, like adding a link, adding an image, adding lists, creating headers, paragraphs, you could already create like a wiki page. Okay. All right, cool. So you guys have any more questions per se?
I will try to at least, well, Kevin here, I don't know what's going on with Jaden and Ada, but I will try to at least get Karen up to the point that we are here now during the week. So we may reach out to you on WhatsApp.
Okay, no problem.
Because I understanding this part of it, because I mean it's kind of copy and paste or select and replace. But in terms of the setup, I'm still not 100% clear on it, because remember at the end there, I thought I was doing everything that you said, but then it's like I was still in the NVDA folder.
Right. Okay. Right. So let me see if I can explain some of these things. So if you to know what folder you're in, you could press PWD. Type PWD. I know you have. Wait, hold on. I wonder if the okay. Let me close off the terminal. Right.
Right, and also how do I even get back into that what file was I editing? That was the index.html file you were editing.
Yes, the index.html file is the one that has all the information that will be stored on the site.
Right. Okay. How do I even get back to that? So when I want to go back into it to fiddle around, how do I get back to that?
Okay. So there's one way. There are a number of different ways you can do it. Let's say you're on the command line. I'm going to open the command prompt here. Okay. We're going to type CMD. Where's your switch? Okay, right. CMD command. Right. Good. Now we're in. Or if you have LS, PWD, LS, okay, not recognized. All right, CD, simple website, dash website. Okay, good. Right, so once you CD in the simple dash website, you can type code and then type index.html.
All right.
And it will open it exactly on that file. Okay, but you just have to make sure that when you CD into the correct folder.
And then I can still press Alt B here, right?
Yeah, you can press Alt B and it would launch the browser.
Nice.
So I try my best to explain the shortcuts because I know you will need it in a slightly different way. It's just for you to get back into your folders when you need it is one of the main challenges.
Right.
All right, cool. So try it out, tell me how it works. Reach out to me during the week, that's fine. And then we link back up next week. Right.
So the page 3 of this thing will give you the actual code to put in before you put the Facebook.
Oh, yeah. So in this case, it doesn't have Facebook, right? It didn't have a link to that. Those are some of the additional things that I will have to teach you. So like how to create a link, how to create a table, how to add a picture, how to add a video or audio. Okay?
No, what I'm talking about is the words, the code before you put those things.
The code before the link? Yes, it would give you the code. It will give you all the code. You just copy and paste it and put it in.
Right.
Okay? And what I will do is I'm going to explain the code because you will need to understand how the code is structured. Otherwise, you just kind of paste and copy and paste and stuff, but you wouldn't really understand it. So I'll explain line by line what each line does and why they put it there.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so that's something we will do next week. I could always compile a list of the different tags that they use in the HTML document and why they use it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be like a little cheat sheet that you could work with.
Now we're going with your project.
So my project, well, right now I'm in the process of planning out the actual functionality for the website. So the Blind Way Forward, there's two websites I'm going to be working on, Blind Way Forward and Empowered Works. For the Blind Way Forward, I have to sit down and draft out the architectural design for the site. So in terms of all the different pages, how people are going to flow through the website and what are some of the different features and functionality that it's going to have. I have already started doing it. I would say I'm a bit behind on that, but I have the team from the US to help me with it. So I just need to do my end of the bargain, fulfill my end of it, which is to create the wireframes and everything, and then they will now step in to help with some of the other things that I'll be doing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, so when I get a little bit further, I would share the designs with you guys, so you could probably test it out and give me your feedback, your thoughts. Is this accessible? Is this really getting to? Does it have the features and functionalities that you might need? In fact, for the Blind Way Forward side, I'm thinking that I could use a bit of AI to do image descriptions, like captioning images. Let's say you wanted to let's say you had something that you needed scanned, but you don't have anybody around to tell you what is written there or what this picture is about. You could actually take a picture for yourself or upload the picture, and the AI algorithm would then analyze the picture and give you a short description in terms of what the picture is about.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are some of the things that I'm thinking of added to the as a service on the website. The other thing is the website will be broken up into different tiers. So you'll have a free tier that anybody can access. Then you'll have like a paid individual, family, and then a business. So different people would have different interests. The family would be probably interested in knowing where their loved ones are and how they're doing and how to collaborate with them. The individual might want more independence, so there'll be things related to that. And then the business might want to know how to work with somebody who has a disability and what they need to work with maybe one or more employees who have disabilities. Yeah, so that's where planning comes in, because as you see, you could sit down and write code, but you need to know what problem you're trying to solve, and then what is the best way to go about solving it.
Knowledge is power.
So you would do all of that typically before we even get to this point where we start writing any kind of code.
So I tried using WordPress already, but the thing with WordPress is that you have limitations to it now.
Yeah, well, I mean, WordPress is quite powerful, eh? No, I mean, if I had to sit down and build a website from scratch or build it using WordPress, I would choose WordPress any day.
Okay.
So WordPress has a lot of plugins and extensions that you could tap into. So even though it might be limited in terms of its initial functionality, because people have built so many things for it, you could pretty much solve any problem in a matter of maybe literally just doing research to figure out what plugins are available.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Now, in terms of if you want to create something that you could sell, as in you're selling the software, then you can't really use WordPress. You will have to build your own software.
Right.
But I think WordPress is good for if you want to do let's say a portfolio site and you just want to display things about yourself, excellent for that. If you're doing e-commerce, you could use it. If you're just selling items and you don't need high performance, because it's a relatively small site, that's good. And if you, let's say you're running a consultancy and you're not using a lot of technology per se, you just want somebody to contact you, then perfect. Just have a WordPress site. But if you want to run, let's say, a software service that's very, very bandwidth intensive, then don't use WordPress. Probably better off actually building the application from scratch. Okay. Or you want to sell the software to another company or license it to them, then you need to own the copyright for it. And you wouldn't be able to do that with WordPress.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of like you understanding where you would apply what. So if you know, I want to do a WordPress site because I just want to put up a short portfolio of myself, cool. I think that's perfect.
Okay. And like if you just want to, buying, as you say, buying and selling products, you can use that as well.
Yeah, you could use WordPress for that. So there's a WordPress extension called WooCommerce. You can take a look at it. It already has all the functionality needed to add products and to fulfill products on a website.
You say make it a bit easier for somebody who wants to do something simple.
Yes. Very simple, and it integrates well with most of the payment providers out there. So like, for instance, we have WePay, we have PayPal. You don't have to worry, in fact, because they've already created plugins for those. Whereas if you had to create your own website from scratch, then you now have to figure out how to integrate your website with those payment providers. So that is my task right now. I need to dive into the code and figure out how all these things are going to work together in order for me to be able to sell my application, because I can't work with WordPress for the blindly forward or the empowered works, because I would be infringing on the copyright for those things.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and it's more or less I want to resell the application as a solution. So either as a software as a service solution, or as a platform that people could use.
Right.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I have to say, have fun working on these exercises.
Yes. Follow along with this thing. It seems as though it's very simple to follow along.
Yeah, it's simple, pretty simple. And now that you know Git, you know how to create an HTML file and add stuff to it. All you will be doing now is just keeping track of your work. So when you want to commit something, you're gonna do git add index.html. That keeps track of the fact that you already made changes, and that's it. Hit enter. You get added. If you want to do git status, right, this tells you that you have files to commit, and if you go ahead and you commit it, git commit -m. Right, we can type update to index.html file. Well, that's it. Hit enter. Right. So now all those changes are logged, and you could push that to a repository on GitHub, which we did before.
Right.
Okay. So yeah. So guys, I mean, this is stuff that, I mean, employers pay for, like big money to we call them DevOps engineers and front-end engineers. So if you guys really learn this properly, there are many opportunities in the field for you to branch off.
But a normal programming course is expensive.
It depends. So they have free programming boot camps. You have entire degree programs that might teach you about IT and programming and all these things. And then you might have online courses, which is mostly what I have done. So online short courses that you can pay for or do for free. So it's up to you to determine how you want to approach things. There's nothing saying that you have to pay to learn. But if you want to maybe get certified, or you feel that you want to have a personal tutor who could explain certain concepts to you, then by all means go ahead and pay. But if you are self-taught, then it's up to you to determine if it makes sense to pay somebody to help you.
And then too, you see, this certificates is what employers want to see. So if you say you're certified in certain things, and you're going to apply for, well, you're going to do work for anybody, you want to see proof that you know what you're doing, you're going to stop, you know?
Well, true. I mean, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that if it is that you want to get a job, having a certification will help you stand out against other people. So that's understandable. Where I would say no is that if you have a portfolio of work that you could demonstrate to people, that beats out certification 10 times, because you actually could show people you have done all this work. They can't argue it with evidence.
True. You had the practical experience there and they know how to go about putting up this particular application and stuff.
Yeah. And then sometimes you not even need to work for an employer. You could become a freelancer. Very, very few people ever stop and ask you, do you have a degree or a certificate in coding? No, what they ask you is, could you show me a portfolio of your work?
Oh, right.
Okay. You show them a portfolio, they might, okay, they say, do you have a certificate in this? Then they might actually ask that if later on they really have to log that as being a criteria.
Yeah.
And that might be for like really big companies. But the average person who is maybe has a small business, or even medium businesses, they just want to see that you are capable of delivering on what it is you promised them. That's it.
Yeah, because people are paying for that right now.
Yeah. Yes, I have potential customers right now. One I have to prepare a proposal over the weekend here. They are involved in like policy. It's a bunch of professors who, interested in like US and Caribbean policy and how it is that we can ensure that policy decisions that are made in the US are made in also our best interests.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, you will meet people and then people will have initiatives and they just want to know that whatever they need, you could deliver on it. And that's essentially the promise to the client. Like, okay, cool, I understand what you want. I will help you get there and I can deliver on it.
Right. Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
Once you can know to handle yourself where that is concerned, you can make money. But that employer thing is something that I personally want to move away from.
Employment.
Working for people so many years and things. It's not something that it's something that has eluded me for a little while. When I get into this mindset of working for people, it has been kind of challenging to get out of that frame of mind.
It is, but because I mean, it's certainly not easy. There's so many things that you need to consider to work on for yourself, especially if you are unfamiliar with how to sell your services and deliver on it. And remember, the responsibility for whatever work that is delivered to the client falls entirely on you if you're working for yourself.
And then with that now, because all the things I learned is how people who was in our company and the knowledge they gained, they went and start their own thing,
Right.
Yeah, they start their own business. And a lot of the things that I learning, I can do my own work from home right here with all the knowledge I've been getting by learning from my company.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just for you to know, put it together in a way that will help you make money. So sometimes we have a lot of knowledge. Okay, like I mean, I learned a lot of things in construction, but that is not my area of focus if I was to try to do it as a business, because to put it together to compete in a highly competitive industry, fighting for maybe a few government contracts, I don't have the kind of capital needed to do it.
I see.
Okay? Yeah, so sometimes having knowledge alone isn't going to help you. You have to have the knowledge and the necessary resources. It might be capital, it might be networks, the right people to be able to help you get through. Like understanding the big picture of what do I know, what does the market want, and then what can I offer to solve their problems. And then of course, what resources do I have that would allow me to fulfill that particular service or product.
But let me ask you a question. This that we're learning here, could you use this knowledge to, because I linked up with a guy who was doing programming, but he was trying, what he was trying to do. He was trying to create a site that you can go on that will enable you to automatically place trades on the place trades. Like if you have a forex trading account,
right?
You can use this. He was trying to create a formula where it could place trades and allow you to come out on the winning side more than the losing side, like a kind of robot something. So when you go into this particular this website, you can select certain tabs that will allow you to automatically, and you have your funds and so on ready to go. When you place a trade like a certain currency pair, it's a lot of maths in it. He was trying to work out some kind of formula as to creating those trades on us and making it more successful than on the losing side. And when he came up with the application, it was working, and then he said something went wrong with it. And yeah, we had to go back to the drawing board, unfortunately. But what I'm asking is this: could this what we have here, this coding, this platform that we use in the code, be used for something like that?
Okay, so yes and no. Yes, in the sense that at the most basic level, it forms the foundation for any application that you're creating, right? But no, only because it's too basic. So you would need to add a lot more functionality and learn a lot more to be able to do something like that. So you may have to work with something like artificial intelligence. You would need to understand the nuances of doing forex trading or stock market trading, and have that understanding of the analytics. How are those numbers changing? How can I predict when to buy or sell a stock? So that's where the specialized knowledge comes in. So I could teach you the foundation for building an application, any kind of application. But then if you really want to get specific, you would have to go to somewhere else in that case. You'd have to go to like people who do stock exchange applications, people who are into artificial intelligence, and get their feedback on it.
And they also do like formulas for mathematical formulas to implement into the whole thing.
Yes. So yeah, a lot of it will be based on maths and statistics.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm continuing next week. I want to listen to a little news there and what's going on.
All right, cool.
If you
Bye,
have,
guys.
Later.
Yeah, man. Take care.
Just read everything.
Aaron, have a good evening, man.